As we know, teachers plan activities for students and gather required resources. They also invest careful thought into the teaching strategies that will most effectively meet the instructional objectives. Student strategies, however, are very different in that they are used independently by the students to support their learning and are a means to an end. Student strategies are 1. The approaches students might use to achieve the learning objective. 2. A set of steps likely to lead to student successful engagement in learning. And 3. Support independent learners who can manage their own learning and improve their performance. Beyond just planning what will be taught, teachers must consider the student strategies that will be used by students to master concepts to independently apply what they have learned. After all, good teaching includes teaching students how to learn, how to remember, and how to think. Promoting metacognition in our students, helping them to understand their own thinking, will strengthen their abilities to be self-sufficient problem solvers. Let's consider some examples. Student strategies can be content-specific or general, depending on whether they are limited to one or applicable to many subject areas. If I am teaching how to find the area of a triangle, I want to teach students a strategy for accomplishing that task. I also want to hold the student responsible for remembering and applying the strategy, whether in my math class or in the science classroom. Subject-specific. Calculate area of triangle. Identify and measure the base and height. Multiply the base by the height. Divide by 2. Record the units in squares. Active listening is an example of a general strategy. To promote students to use active listening strategies, teachers across all subjects and grade levels should teach and consistently reinforce the same active listening strategy. Thus, students would recognize this as a strategy to be used in all of their classes, and so is general. An example of active listening is, look at the person who is speaking. Think about what they are saying. Restate what they said. Ask clarifying questions. Other examples of general learning strategies might address note-taking skills, such as the Cornell method or mind maps, reading strategies such as Author and Me, and writing strategies such as races. R. Restate the question. A. Answer the question. C. Cite evidence to support answer. E. Expand and explain. S. Sum it up. It is important to remember that strategies must be explicitly taught to students. Therefore, specific student learning objectives for how this will be done should be embedded in appropriate units of study. Once strategies have been taught to the students, opportunities for practice should be provided and expectations for student application should be consistently maintained. For example, if a teacher plans to teach the races writing strategy, he or she will expect students to independently apply that strategy in their work. The goal should be for the student to employ the strategy, not just on the day they are learning it, but every time they are struggling to respond to an essay question. While a teacher may need to review the steps with a student, the goal continues to be student ownership and independence. Creating these strategies so that they are consistent across grade levels and content areas helps students see their learning as a purposeful, meaningful activity for which they can take part ownership by employing the strategies they have been taught. Sharing these strategies with parents is an essential part of the student learning process as well.